If you don't like it, you can clock out and go home. An old story from about 10 years ago, but I still giggle about it sometimes. I've been working at a McDonald's and only just started maybe 2 weeks ago or so. They gradually trained me on the two main stations in the kitchen, first the chicken station aka deep fryers, then the burger station aka the grill, but the chips, fries station is always busy, so they were delaying training new employees until a slow morning came on the weekend or some other freak event caused the chips to get slow. One day the restaurant got busy and for whatever reason the manager decides to put me on the chips. Someone probably called in sick or was no-show. I informed him that I have had zero training on the fries, but I can handle either of the other stations effectively. He didn't care and put me on the fries regardless.
To no surprise, I was inefficient on that station, figuring out the process myself from what I saw the others do while working another station. I didn't know the best timing, my portions were all over the place, orders started piling up, and instead of helping in any way, the manager was standing behind my back, literally breathing on my neck and criticizing every little bit of it. "Your fries are burning, you're running out of fries, you brought too many bags from the freezer, the other bag will be soggy by the time you open it, your portions are too small, you're too slow." At one point he grabbed a pack of chips and asked me, "Look at this portion. If you were a customer, would you pay for it?" Finally I told him that instead of standing behind me and criticizing every move, he could jump in to help or train me, or at least give some basic hits to get me started. To this, his response was something along the lines of, "Well, the restaurant is busy and you're too slow. You need to be faster, and if you don't like it you can clock out and go home." All of this is about 2.5
meters away from customers, mind you. Before his mouth could close after saying that, I have already turned on my heel and started marching towards the clock. He caught up with me at the clock. "What are you doing?" "Clocking out." "You can't just clock out." "Yes I can, you said yourself I can clock out and go home," while marching towards the staff room, changing room.
You think you can just leave in the middle of a busy day? You know, there's 1,000 people out there waiting to get your job? And there's a million minimum wage, dead-end jobs out there that I can do tomorrow instead of this. I don't get paid enough to deal with your bullshit. Good luck and I'll see you tomorrow. Edit, FAQ, why did you come back to work? Memory failed me slightly, I did not say "I'll see you tomorrow" at the end. After the dead-end jobs bit "and I don't get paid enough," he asked, with a pretty disarmed look, "Are you still going to come in tomorrow?"
I said yes, because if he wasn't petty enough to sack me on the spot for bruising his ego, I might as well stick around until I find another job. Don't quit before you have something lined up. I did not have any conversations with anyone about this, not him, not HR. So perhaps it was a legitimate defeat, meaning the message was delivered. I was already on a lookout for a better job because they never gave me enough hours to cover my rent, let alone eat. Edit, FAQ, what happened after on the day? I never asked. He probably had to put his hands in the chips until somebody else turned up, or abused another poor soul into performing. I don't remember bothering to ask anyone, and as far as I recall nobody said anything. That was 10 years ago, so I might as well update now. After leaving MCD a few weeks later, I went through a bunch of similar jobs. Got scammed once, then did some odd PC repairs, which led me to landing a position in a small family business as a one-person IT department. After a year and a half I moved into data centers, finally working for a well-known international corporation. Then now I'm in second year of university studying so I can go into 6 figures salary. Worked out well so far. D. The bewilderment of managers when you stand your ground and point out they have no right to get cross you can't do what they never told you how to do after their complete procrastinating on training for when we have time. That day never comes. Never fails to amuse. No, I didn't actually mean clock out when I said clock out. No, wait, stoop. Good on you for standing your ground. Would love to find out how he got the chips back on the go for all those hungry punters. For real.
Min-wage jobs are a dime a dozen.
You can walk all over them.
Do you really think they want to hire that meth head over you?
Any repercussions?
The beatings will continue until morale improves.
That was a good call on your part.
I would like to think OP's walking out had a deep and lasting impact on the idiot manager, forcing them to lighten up and change their ways.
Yeah, and I'd like to win the lottery 3 times next week.
I'm surprised you were still willing to show up the next day.
As an IT manager owner, I found this method works well at incentivizing employees. What do you mean, you've never configured a Windows domain controller from scratch?
I
don't
care.
Get it done now.
The client was expecting this yesterday and it's your fault it isn't done. Quit crying.
Quote.
Less than it shouldn't need this, but someone will think I'm serious.
So, Macy's was by far my worst job. Endless tales from that place. That era came to an end when I got screamed at. Yes.
Screamed at by a 40-plus-year-old. For not wanting to turn a 12-hour shift into an 18-hour one to cover someone calling in sick. I told her 20p above minimum wage wasn't worth ruining my health by busting my ass for 3/4 of a day. She said I should find another job then. So I did.
Left a month later and never looked back.
Power move. Update tomorrow, please.
What happened after you left and what happened tomorrow?
$10 says he was likely a new manager.
Or at least you were the first new hire since he got the position.
And he let that power get to his head. If you knew the chicken station.
You knew the fry station.
They all have timers that tell you when to pull the basket. Fry time is max 4 minutes, so you could get unbacked up in no time.
This story may be true but seems suspicious. Edit.
I will admit that those managers exist though. I had a loud run-in with one that involved police.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.